Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to discuss about the policies. So in the previous lecture I discussed about the different types of policies, but in this lecture I'll show you how we can create the policies, how we can assign those policies to an individual user or a bulk assignment of users, or maybe how we can assign that particular policy to a group as well. And I'll discuss about the policy packages as well today and the guest and external access policies. Like if you have added one of the guests in your account or maybe in your Teams meeting, then what all access they have, right? So let's start it by creating one of the policy. So today I'm gonna create a messaging policy so that we will see how we can create the policy, what all are the options we have under the messaging policy and how we can assign it. So let me go to this messaging. So I have already logged into this Microsoft Teams Admin Center. And by going to this messaging, you will be able to see this messaging policy. And here, once you click on this messaging policies, you will be able to see the manage policies and the group policy assignment options. And next thing, like if you are creating messaging policies and or not only the messaging policy, maybe if you are doing anything on the Teams Admin Center and you clicked on any option, be it users, Teams devices, Teams apps, meetings, messaging, anything. So first option, first definition, you can see it up here, messaging policies. And if you don't know about what is messaging policy, you can click on this hyperlink. That is what it says, learn more. As soon as you click on this learn more, it will open a new web page where it will tell you everything about that particular option. Like I just clicked on the messaging policies, then it just opened manage messaging policies in Teams, and you can read it out everything here, right? So let me close this one. Here you can see what it says messaging policies. It is used to control what chat and channel messaging features are available to users in Teams, right? So as soon as you create one of the messaging policy, or I can say as soon as you create a user, if you are not assigning any policy to that particular user, it will automatically assign with the default policy, that is this global or wide default. This policy is created by default by Microsoft. That is what it says, custom policies now. But as soon as you create a new policy, it will show you as this custom policy as yes. That means these policies are created by you, right? So I can do one thing. Let me just go to add and add a new policy. Let's say I'm just giving the name as test messaging policy, or instead of that test messaging policy, and this is the test messaging policy, it would be the name we can say. And in the description, we can say this is test messaging policy to, we can say, to not edit the sent messages, right? So I am gonna create a messaging policy where users will not be able to edit the sent messages, right? So what I can do, here you can see it says owners can delete sent messages, whether I should allow owners to delete the sent messages or not. If I want to allow, then I can just turn this option on. Delete sent messages on, delete chat is on, edit sent messages. That is what we are going to create the policy, right? What it says in test messaging policy, where we are not allowing the users to edit the sent messages. So edit sent messages, I can turn this option off, right? So if this option is turned off and this messaging policy is assigned to one of the user or maybe a group or maybe for a batch of users, everyone who is having access to this test messaging policy, or I can say every user who is having this messaging policy, they are not able to edit the sent messages, right? Then we have another thing, that is read receipts. So read receipts, whether when you send a message, it will show you an icon whether that message is already read by the other party or not. So as of now, it's user controlled. User can control it in their Microsoft Teams client application, or you can just turn it on for everyone, you can turn it off for everyone, or you can just leave it on the user control, so that user can control it, whether the other party can see my messages or I can see the read receipts actually, whether that party already saw that message or not, right? Then we have this chat. It says find related settings for meetings or meeting policies. That is, meeting policies, different thing. Chat with groups is on, whether you are allowed the Giphy in conversations, Giphy content rating, like what type of rating would allow in that Giphy, either like strict, moderate, or no restriction, then it will show everything. Moderate, it will be in intermediate, like in somehow in between strict and no restriction. Memes, whether memes are allowed, stickers are allowed, URL previews, like these all are the settings we have in our messaging policy, and we can see whether these things are allowed or not. That is what we need to do it here. Like let's say this option, send urgent messages using priority notification. So there is a priority notification for urgent messages, whether you want to allow that or not. If you don't want to allow, you can just turn it off, right? Create voice messages and others. So there are so many options available here. You can use it and you can utilize it, and then you can assign it, right? So I just turn this edit send messages option off. This is the test messaging policy, and I am clicking on save. So as soon as I click on save, it will create this test messaging policy, which I just created. Although you can see it up here by clicking on it again, this edit send message is already turned off, right? So what would be my next step? I have created this policy. Now I want to give this test messaging policy to one of the user, right? So let me click on this one. I can go to this manage users tab here. And once I click on this drop down, you will be able to see it will ask me to assign it to user or bulk unassignment. Here you can see if I want to assign to a particular users, I can click on this assign users and I can just add the names. Or if I want to unassign this messaging policy from the users, I can click on this one, bulk unassign users. So as of now, let me assign this test messaging policy to the users. So let me add, let's say Chris Evans. Okay, I can add the policy for Chris Evans. Then I can say maybe Catherine Steen. I can add this particular person, or I can say, let's say Demo Lab option, Demo Lab person. I can add this one. So these three are added for this test messaging policy. I can apply and confirm. So this is the one way how you can add the policy to an individual or a batch of users. You can just directly type it and then just add it. This messaging policy will get applied to a particular users which I selected. Next thing, what we can see is the group policy assignment. If I want to assign this particular policy to a group, I can click on this group policy assignment. Then I can go add, and it says select a group, search by a display name. So I know I have created one group earlier, which named as test Ashish, something test team Ashish. So I created this group, this team earlier. I can click on add. So if this test team has 5 or 10 or maybe 50 or 100 users, every user will get this test messaging policy. And it says what would be the policy you need to select a policy. I want to give this test messaging policy to this particular team, right? Ranking, it says select rank would be, you can check it out. It says if users in this group are part of any other groups with the policy assigned, those users will inherit the policy from the group with the highest rank. So this policy, this group has a one rank. If I create any other group, if I give this particular group to access to any other policy, or maybe the other groups to access to this policy, then I need to select the rank as well. That is what it says, select rank. If users in this group are part of other groups as well, like say this is test team Ashish, maybe there is another team where the users are same, or maybe few of the users are assigned to the other policy as well, right? Then this ranking would needs to be there. Like as of now, it's number 1 rank. You can create like 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, any ranking you can get. So now I have selected test messaging policy, and then I'm gonna apply and confirm. So this is how you can assign a policy to a group or you can assign a policy to an individual with the help of this messaging policy tab where you create the policy. Next method, if you want to assign it directly to one of the particular user, then you can directly go to this users tab, manage users, and on the manage users, let's say I'm gonna open this David Brown, because I know this David Brown is not a part of neither the group nor I assigned this policy to this particular individual. I can directly go to this policies tab, and after going to policies, I can see all the policies which are listed here. So I wanted to update it in the messaging policy. Here you can see messaging policy. I can click on this one, click add it. As of now, you can see it's global or quite default. I can click add it and directly I can assign that policy which I created to this particular user. Right, this policy is already assigned to this particular user now. That is how you can create the policy, add the policy, assign the policy to the particular users. Next thing what we can discuss in this lecture is guest access and the external access. So now I have created these policies and I'm assigning it to my users, to the users in my organization, right? So now if any of the particular user as a guest joins the meeting, then what all are the policies that particular guest user is having? That is what you can see it under this guest access under the users tab. So I can click on this guest access. Here you can see for the guest access is on. The first thing is guest access is on or off. By default, it is on. Calling, whether they can make private calls or not, you can turn it on. Meeting, video conferencing is on. Screen sharing, well, let's say you don't want your I can say you don't want your guest users to share the screen. Let's say you don't want them. So you can go to the screen sharing option and on the drop down, you can say not enabled. So that means if they join the meeting, then they will not be able to share the screen if they are a guest user. Meet now in channels, messaging. Let's say you don't want them to edit the sent messages, you don't want them to delete the sent messages, and you don't want to give in conversations for the guest users, not even the stickers, not even the memes. Giphy content rating, we can say it's strict because these are guest users, so you can make these changes, and then I can click on save. So as soon as any user logged in, or I can say join the meeting as a guest, these policies will get applied automatically to that particular user, right? Next, we have this external access option. External access, it says, let's say Teams and Skype for business users communicate with users outside of the organization. And your users can add apps when they host meetings or chat with external users. So these settings are particularly for the external users. So by default, all the external domains are allowed. It says choose which external domains your users have access to. By default, it's allowed all external domains. If you want to allow only specific domains, you can click on this one and you can allow the domain. And if you don't want any other organization to join, then you can just block all external domains, block only specific. It depends on you. So as of now, it's allow all external domains. Yani every domain is allowed, right? If you want to allow only specific, then you can click on this only specific external domains. As of now, it's all external and it is by default, right? And it says Teams accounts not managed by organization. That is what you can like turn it on or turn it off. And it's for the Skype users as well. You can make the changes. I haven't done any changes on this external access. That's why I'm not gonna save it, or it's the normal, right? So this is for all the external users who joined your organization, or I can say who joined the meeting in your organization, right? That is what it says. External users with Teams accounts not managed by an organization can contact users in an organization. Whether you allow that or not, you can do a check or uncheck for this particular external access, right? So this is how you can create the policies. You can create or added the guest access, or I can say the external access, or Second, next thing what you can do, you can apply a policy package as well directly to the users, right? How you can do that? You can go to the policy packages. Okay, I'm discarding the changes. You can go to the policy packages, and here you can see all the policy. These are the policy packages actually, which are already there, created by default by Microsoft, right? Even you can create these policy packages as well. What is this policy package actually? This policy package is a collection of predefined policies and settings that can be customized and applied to a group of users that have similar roles within your organization. What that means? That means you can create a package, and under that package, you can assign the different policies, right? Let's say I'm going to open this one, education, higher education student. If I open this one, I'll be able to see these all are the messaging policy, meeting policy, app setup, calling, or live events. These all are the assigned policy to this particular package, that is education, higher education student. And what all are the settings under these messaging policies? Under these, not only the messaging, under these assigned policies. Let's say I wanted to see meeting policy options. I can click on this one. I can see for this education, higher education student meeting policy, these options are turned it on, these options are off. Even you can make changes as well, like you can make changes to this particular, you can save it, or you can create a new meeting policy package, not the meeting policy, it's just the policy package, and then you can assign as many policies as you want, and you can even change the settings as well, right? That's how you can actually, I am on the policy package. Okay, so that is how you can actually create a policy package, or I can say added the policy package, added the policies under the policy package. Right now I am not able to add the, or I can say create new policy package, because that needs a premium subscription. That is what it says, custom, for custom policies it needs a premium license, right? This setting is only available with Teams Premium, and I don't have the Teams Premium. That's why. So I'm unable to add the custom policies in this policy package. So we can assign this policy package to the particular group of users. And how you can do that? Let's say I wanted to assign this education, higher education student to the users. I can click on the manage users. I can display, let's say I wanted to give this to the Christine, let's say Chris Evans, and apply. So this policy package is applied to this particular user, that is Chris Evans, right? This is one of the way you can add it. Second way, the same thing like a policy assignment, you can assign particular policy package to a group. Like I can say group is my test team. This is the test or team Ashish. I can directly assign it which policy package I wanted to apply, that is higher education student, and apply. So this policy package is applied to all the users who are a part of this test team Ashish. This is how you can add the group policy, or I can say policy package to a group. Next method, you can directly go to the users, manage users, and let's say David Brown. I know David Brown is not a part of any other group. So I can go to this David Brown, and then I can go to the policy package page, and I can assign the policy directly to this particular user, right? Here you can see this is the user page for the David Brown, and I can click on the policies. On the policies, you will be able to see the policy package option, this one. Policy package, nothing is assigned. I can click on add it. I can assign a policy package. This is the one. And if you create any policy package, it will also show it up here. Education, higher student, and apply. So after applying, it will take a moment to apply the changes. That's what it says. Policy package is assigned. It might take a few hours, right? So this is assigned to the particular David Brown also. So that is how you can add the create add or assign the policy and the policy packages to individual users, to a group of users, to a batch of users, right? So this is how it works. So in the upcoming lecture, I'll show you all these things on the PowerShell module, how you can install the module of Microsoft Teams, how you can add the users, how you can add the teams, how you can add the channels, or how you can add these policies or create the policies, assign the policies with the help of PowerShell module. So I hope you really like this video. Then please hit like, share, and subscribe my channel. And please press the bell icon so that you will be able to receive notifications of all my upcoming videos. And if you have any queries or any doubts, you can send it in the comment section, or you can reach out to me at technicalventure02@gmail.com. Thank you.